is a story of a young girl named Whitney who used to consistently stand in front of her mirror, scrutinizing every inch of herself. The reflection staring back at her was a battleground, a place where self-doubt and confidence collided. Whitney, like many other young girls in society today, are caught in the crossfire of societal expectations. Whitney's peers and the media are all constantly painting a picture of what she should look like and how she should behave. It's a mold that feels impossible to fit into, and every day she struggles to measure up. She feels a pressure, an unyielding force pushing her towards an ideal that seems unreachable. It's a stress that's almost tangible, a heavy weight that she carries. Whitney and many other young girls finds themselves in a constant battle, wrestling with feelings of inadequacy and the relentless pursuit of acceptance. Whitney and many young girls are fighting a silent battle on a daily basis, but she is not alone. In the midst of her struggles, Whitney ends up finding solace in an unexpected place, the Bible. As the pages turn, a story unfolds before her, a story of a young girl not unlike herself. This is the tale of Esther, an ordinary girl chosen by God for an extraordinary purpose. Esther, a Jewish girl living in the Persian Empire, was selected by the king to be his queen. But this wasn't just a story of royal privilege and luxury. Esther was chosen not for her beauty or status, but because she was part of a divine plan. God had a purpose for Esther, and it was far greater than anything she could have imagined. Esther found herself in a position where she could save her people from a terrible fate, but to do so she had to risk her own life. She was scared, unsure, just as any of us would be. But in her fear, Esther didn't falter. Instead, she found strength. And where did this strength come from? It came from her faith, her trust in the Bible, God's word. You see, the Bible makes it clear in Jeremiah 1 that before even you were formed in your mother's womb, he knew you. And in Jeremiah 29 verse 11, he affirms that he knows the plans that he has for you. Plans not to harm you, but to prosper you, to give you a future and a hope. Esther's faith in God gave her the courage to approach the king, to plead for her people. She trusted in God's plan for her, even when everything seemed uncertain. In the face of adversity, Esther didn't shrink back. Instead, she stepped forward, armed with faith in God's word and fortified by prayer. Whitney then, engrossed in the story, begins to see a reflection of herself in Esther. She too is an ordinary girl facing extraordinary challenges. But as she reads about Esther's courage and faith, she starts to understand something crucial. Her worth isn't determined by her peers or by societal standards. For all the young girls out there facing these pressures from society's expectations and your peers or anyone, just remember that it's not about fitting into a mold or meeting expectations. Whitney starts to see that, like Esther, her worth is not defined by the world's standards, but by God's love and purpose for her. She realizes that she too can find strength in her faith, just like Esther. And with this newfound understanding, Whitney begins to see her struggles in a new light. She begins to find strength in her faith and the Bible. What God's word says about her begins to resonate with her, and she begins to break free from the shackles and weight on her shoulders. Whitney's journey of faith is not a quick fix, but a gradual process of transformation. So let's delve into how she begins to apply the lessons she learns from the Bible in her daily life. Whitney started with small, everyday choices. When her friends pressured her to skip homework for a movie, she remembered the story of Daniel, who stood firm in his faith despite the pressure from a king. She chose to honor her commitments just as Daniel did. When stress from school threatened to overwhelm her, Whitney recalled the words of Jesus from the Bible, "Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." She learned to find peace in prayer, casting her cares upon a God who could handle them. She begins to see it clearly from the Bible that God keeps them in perfect peace, whose mind is fixed on him. But it wasn't just about handling stress or resisting peer pressure. Whitney's faith journey was also about discovering her self-worth. In a world that often told her she wasn't enough, Whitney found comfort in Psalms, where David wrote, "I am fearfully and wonderfully made." This verse reminded her that she was created with purpose and love, which gave her a sense of confidence that no negative comment could shake. Her faith, however, was also tested, much like the story of David and Goliath. David, a mere shepherd boy, was faced with a giant warrior. But despite the odds, David didn't back down. He trusted in God, stood his ground, and with a single stone, defeated Goliath. Whitney found herself facing her own Goliaths, whether it was a tough exam, a falling out with a friend, or her own self-doubts. But just like David, she found the strength to face these challenges, not in her own abilities, but in her faith. So she learned that faith was not a magic wand that made problems disappear. It was a source of strength, a beacon of hope, and a guide for her actions. She realized that faith in the Bible and God's Word didn't just change her circumstances, it changed her. Whitney learns that faith doesn't make things easy, but it makes them possible. It's a journey that continues, a journey of transformation and a journey of discovering the power of faith. Whitney's story is not an end but a beginning and assurance of a brighter future as we learn to put God first. Just like Whitney, we are all on a continuous journey of growth and learning. We stumble, we fall, and we rise again, stronger and wiser than before. And just as Whitney found guidance and strength in the Bible, so can we. The Bible is not just a book filled with stories, it's a guidebook for life, offering wisdom and insight for every step of our journey. Let's take a moment to imagine the parable of the mustard seed. This tiny seed, the smallest of all when planted, grows into a large tree. It's a symbol of how great things can come from small beginnings. And it's a powerful illustration of the potential within each of us. Just like the mustard seed, we may start small, we may feel insignificant, but with faith, patience, and perseverance, we can grow into something far greater than we ever imagined. The journey of faith is not always easy. It's filled with challenges and obstacles, but just like the mustard seed, we have the potential to overcome these hurdles and flourish. The Bible reminds us that faith, even as small as a mustard seed, can move mountains. It's this faith that empowers us to face our fears, to overcome our challenges, and to continue on our journey no matter how tough it may be. Whitney's journey is a testament to this transformative power of the Bible. Through her faith, she found strength, courage, and a sense of purpose. She discovered her worth and her potential, and she learned that she could make a difference in the world. So let's remember Whitney's journey as we continue on our own. Let's remember the power of faith, the importance of perseverance, and the potential within each of us. Let's remember that we are all on a journey and that each step we take brings us closer to becoming the person we are meant to be. Whitney's journey is a testament to the transformative power of faith. And remember, every girl has a Whitney within her, ready to embark on her own journey of faith.